Hey guys. Oh, so I want to tell you a little story about something that saved my ass in during the pandemic, the initial lockdown. And that has, well, made a resurgence and changed my life. And it's something that got me back into one of my all-time favorite things to do, which for some reason I had not been making space or time for, and that's dance. Free flow, ecstatic, intuitive, just do whatever you want. No rules dance. And 20 like years ago, you know, I was in the clubs, I was loving the dance. But then there's like I pushed pause on that part of me for an extended period of time. There just wasn't the opportunity, there wasn't the environment, the spark wasn't there. I didn't have, yeah, just the opportunity or the calling or the interest. I was into other things, or I didn't see, there really weren't opportunities outside of being in a club and the rise of festivals. There just really weren't opportunities to dance. And so I put that on pause. It was on the back burner. And then fast forward spring of 2020, we're all in lockdown. My girlfriend and I were starting to play with, Snapchat and just finding ways to entertain each other. And I was not going to lie, I was in my first dark night of the soul, my first true close encounter with the depths of the soul. I was suffering from severe depression, huge changes happening in my life. Um, that felt and were completely out of my control. And I was on a leave, you know, we all really were during COVID. There was that lockdown period. Compounding it, just going through the most difficult experiences of my life at the time. My cat passed away, my companion, 19 years. COVID business was closed, and I didn't touch another human for like 30 something days. I was living on my own. And my beautiful cat, my comfort, had also left. She had passed away. So it was dark, it was bleak. And during that time, I laid in bed for an extended period of time, 1 or 2 months. And I'd never done that in my life. I had never not gotten out of bed and jumped, teaching, training, working, creating, thriving. And so I learned to relax. I learned to unwind. I learned to lounge. I learned to luxuriate. And in that process, my body began to change. Just a little, at first, but it was the first time I'd seen a change, um, reverse training in my whole adult life. I had never not been in the gym, never not been training. It was just part of who I was since I was probably about 19. And so as my body started, gaining a little extra, I decided I was going to choose the road of self-love and celebration versus going the other way, which can be, yeah, I didn't want to go into another deep, dark hole of self-hate. And so I chose to celebrate my extra flesh, we'll say. And so I decided I was going to learn how to twerk. I was like, I got all this free time. I'm going to shake this. And this is the time. I just got this inspired idea. And a friend of mine, it was Kristen, Lady K, the world's only pole dancing DJ. She just happened to, maybe I had mentioned to her I wanted to learn how to twerk. I'm not sure. She sent me a woman's name, Amber Prowl, and she is a professional dancer, stripper, pole dancer, amazingly talented, beautiful human being with all the moves. And she was running a Patreon account where you could go in and learn dance moves. And you would learn one technique and then, but then we would work on a routine and put it all together. And it was called Ass Class. And Ass Class saved my ass. No joke. It became a highlight. I could have the worst day ever, maybe not even get out of bed. And I looked forward to doing that move, checking in and doing the move before bed. And so every night before bed, I would, no matter how rough the day was, I would go to bed with elevated spirits. And that is one of the best times to focus on things that bring you pleasure and bring you joy because we're in a naturally hypnotic state in that transition period between waking and sleeping. Same within the morning time. But it's really great time to think about things that you love, things that bring you pleasure, raise your frequency so you can drift off and training the subconscious mind with these higher vibrational thoughts, feelings, and emotions. So, your subconscious knows, oh, okay, this is what she wants. It's a very suggestive state or time in the day. So, from a hypnosis perspective, it was very beneficial, but I wasn't thinking of that at the time. I was just like, I need something to do that feels good for me. And it was really cheeky. Like nobody really knew I was doing it except for a couple of girlfriends. And, I would bust out my moves now and then, learn some great moves, got to cheer each other on. And it rekindled my love for dancing. And so fast forward to the present day, the reason I'm telling this story is I have just started curating guided self hypnosis and ecstatic style dancing sessions here in the dome in Cumberland on the property where I am renting, where I'm living. And it started again just for my love of dancing and curating these magical musical playlists in themes. And I started bringing my friends together and because I just wanted to share this beautiful experience. And the feedback was awesome. The vibrations were raised. People were remembering how much they love to dance and in a completely different environment than perhaps they had experienced. We've all experienced in the past, associating dancing really with um, alcohol and clubbing and being sort of checked out, whereas this experience is really about checking in. And so I have curated a very special offering, which I'm so excited to be sharing with the community here in Cumberland and soon to be the world. Sure, I'll be offering these at retreats and um, hopefully festivals and workshops where I combine my skills, my talents as a hypnotherapist and an intuitive with my love for ecstatic style dancing, which means we tune in and we do what we want to do. And so, what I am providing are guided hypnotic suggestions that are all designed to raise the frequency, raise the vibration through affirming positive thoughts, which are then associated with positive feelings, positive emotions, and creating positive feedback loops. Now, all suggestions are completely optional. We do a little chat at the beginning where everyone is given the gifts of personal power, where they are agreeing and given the chance and the tools to only accept the suggestions that they feel resonate with them and are for their highest and greatest good, which amplifies those suggestions. Okay, so for example, this week is transformation as our theme. And so I'll be offering suggestions that foster and encourage, that come through me intuitively and naturally and as a practitioner of hypnosis, to facilitate that process, to honor our transformation, to see the beauty and the gifts in these changes that we're going through. and to step into these new versions of who we are. And if that resonates and those affirmations and those suggestions align, then the dancers have the opportunity to accept those. There's also movement suggestions. We're doing energy work. We're activating and using through visualization and body movements, the energy centers of the body, the chakra system. And it's a great, it can be a great workout. We're moving the body, we're releasing emotions, thoughts, feelings, things that no longer serve us, that are trying to move. And we do it without speech, without speaking. So there's no talking in the dance. Sounds are encouraged, but there's no conversation because it's a moving meditation. And I hope I'm explaining it, but really it's one of those things that no two dances are the same. No two experiences are the same. No two dancers are the same. No two playlists are the same. No two, offerings are the same. But what is consistent is it is for you. It is a dance for the dancer. And it is meant to be whatever the dancer chooses it to be and wants it to be and needs for it to be. Connecting with our bodies, for choosing to act autonomously and as a sovereign being, doing what we want to do, a chance to practice fully expressing our authentic state of being who we really are, getting to know that version of us, being comfortable with that version of us. And there are other people there, which is quite healing in itself. And yet we know we'll be undisturbed, okay? Unless you want to engage and unless you want to interact, and that's encouraged, but it's optional. So it's all through consent. Meaning, a smile, a shared dance, a wink, that sort of thing. But again, there's no talking so that we don't disturb the meditation. And there's lots of fun. Of course, I'm involved. I like to make it fun. But it is a journey. Each one is a journey. And yeah, I'm super passionate about offering these. So I'll be on the mic here locally in Cumberland in the Comox Valley on Thursday nights. You can find out the information on my website. And no session would be complete without a guided meditation at the end. So I lead through my intuitive channel, my intuitive guidance, a group meditation, which we all share together. And so powerful. Such a beautiful way to close the dance after getting our high frequency. And then we can utilize that energy to drop into a space where we collectively entrain in a meditation. And I guide all that. Everybody gets to just sit back and relax. And again, accept the suggestions and make it their own so that it's perfectly curated in a way that meets the individual needs of each person and is always going and holding the highest and greatest good and going for that vision at all times in the dance and in the meditation. So that's something I'm super excited about. If you feel a spark and you're like, I want to move, I love dancing, and you've either lost touch with it, you don't have an opportunity to dance, or, you just want to get out and shake it, or you want to try something new, you love music, you want to tap your toe in the corner and listen to the playlist, you do it. I'm encouraging rebellion within the dome, meaning you do you. And I'm there to facilitate, offer guidance, offer suggestions, and each and every dancer, it's up to them what they accept or reject and what they choose to do. And we're there to share the journey in our individual experiences. And it's a beautiful way to connect. The dances are currently for women only, ages 18 and over. And you can sign up for a whole series, or you can come just one at a time. For more information, you can go to my website, www.wildseeds.com.